Unlock the door! Drop the knife now! Drop it!
Put the knife down!
Hi everyone, Donut here. And that last video was kind of a doozy, wasn't it? Had a lot going on last week, got a little stressy, sorry about that. But hey, guess what? We got more shootings today. Check this out real quick, I'll show you how busy it was last week. I went dove hunting with the suppressed shotgun, killed every dove in Midland, Texas, and we had UFC legend Don Fry on the Unsubscribed podcast. It was a busy week, I didn't even stream last week. I'm back to streaming this week though. Twitch and Kick, 10 a.m. Central. As I said earlier, we've got a shooting today. You know, I'll never understand it. Out of all the bad ideas floating around this planet, why do so many people insist on bringing a knife to a gunfight? What's the thought process there?
I'm invincible!
Today's incident is a perfect example. Cops pull a car over for an expired plate. Just a simple thing that cops do every day. They think it's gonna be routine, and instead they get a confusing, face-first trip to the ground. Yeah, this stop goes from an expired paper tag to a very shiny, very long blade in about 2 seconds flat. Let's get into this breakdown, but first a word from my sponsor. Have you ever tried a First Form meat stick? Because that's my sponsor. Look, if you've seen any of my content, I'm a nerd, but sometimes I like to get into the gym. One of the biggest things that's helped me out is First Form. I'm not just saying that because they're my sponsor. They really help me out a lot, and I use them in my everyday life. My favorite thing at First Form, other than their wonderful supplements, are their meat sticks. I was delivering these to the people helping out with the Texas floods, all the first responders. 18 grams of protein, and they taste really good in a tiny meat stick. That's what I tell her. Also, every single day, I use their microfactor packets of multivitamins. Antioxidants, multivitamins, probiotics, fruits, and veggies. It's literally everything you need. It comes in one box, 30 days, set it up on a subscription through their website. I can't tell you how many hunts that I've been on or out shooting with the boys, making videos and stuff. We always make sure to have one of these on us. This is pretty freaking crucial because we're a bunch of degenerates. Honestly, vitamins is what we need. I'm not really a fan of eating a lot of vegetables. I like red meat and rice, so I supplement it with the OptiGreens that they offer. 50 organic ingredients, including grasses, fruits and vegetables, digestive enzymes, and probiotics. It supports immunity and energy, so on top of my protein, my multivitamins, there's my veggies. It doesn't taste like shit either. Sometimes in my busy day, I don't get enough protein, so they have protein. Oh my gosh, they're Formula One. This one's chocolate mint cookie. I grew up eating mint chocolate chip ice cream. It tastes just like it. And then if you have a white girl in your life like I do, you get their level 1 high quality protein blend of pumpkin spice latte. That's all for the fiance. Oh my God, she drinks level 1 so much because it can replace her supplement meals. It digests slowly to help you stay full longer, reduce cravings, and support lean muscle maintenance. She did give me one of these the other day. I thought it was one of her pumpkin spice lattes that cost $18, but no, that was First Form level 1. I didn't know that was that. That's how good this stuff is. They also have a collagen mixture. First Form Collagen is a hydrolyzed collagen powder featuring 5 types of collagen and Dermavol to support skin elasticity, joint health, hair and nail strength, and gut function. Look, I'll be honest with you boys, something that I eat every single day is their meat sticks, which are great. Their little vitamin packs, which give me the shit that I don't get, and their Formula One protein. I can attest by every single one of those for every day, probably for the past 3 years. I can't wait to try all their other supplements. And you can do that too by going to firstform.com/donut. That's firstform.com/donut. First, I want to start off with a shooting, but a whole different kind of shooting. I don't know how else to put this, but I'll say it like this. A rider on Portland's subway system got hit, stabbed, blown, whatever, with a 6-inch barbed dart from a slingshot. What the f? Yeah, a slingshot. The victim's lung collapsed, and prosecutors say the guy that shot the dart just celebrated and ran off. This happened on June 17, 2024. The footage was just released. It was on a train platform in the Rockwood area. Yes, of Portland. Let's take a look at this guy's careful Old Testament aim. Surveillance footage shows the victim walking towards the train, minding his own business, just waiting to get on. A suspect behind him fires a dart into his back and then flees the scene with a woman. Cops said they're removing the dart from anywhere but a hospital could be fatal. I understand that.
Don't pull it out.
Basically, pulling it out could have caused more damage and made things a lot worse, which I think is exactly what the suspect was trying to do. Dude, these are purpose-built Q-up darts. Investigators found more darts on him when he was picked up. Oh, and of course, a crack pipe. Makes sense. Prosecutors said the victim couldn't work or hold his kid for a while. That's understandable. Prosecutors also said that the dude could have died without doctors pulling out the dart correctly. The judge ended up giving the guy 70 months, which is fucking wild to me because that's attempted murder. He ended up catching reaching serious physical injury. Collapse lung equals assault 2 territory, and there's a premeditation retaliation angle. A week earlier, the victim told the suspect to stop hitting a woman on the same train platform. The man recognized his victim and came back and shot him in the back with a dart. Moral of the story, slingshots still work, and Portland is still a fucking shithole. Dude's going away for almost 6 years. The rider ended up living barely. What do you think? Fair sentence or kinda light for a collapsed lung? In other news, Doug is asleep and very cute. Next story before we hit the main breakdown. Cops roll into a Chuck E. Cheese in Florida, because Florida, man, and ends up arresting Chuck E. Cheese himself. Own credit card theft and fraud. Full suit, giant mouse head and all. According to reports, Mr. Chuck E. Cheese himself was suspected of swiping stolen credit cards and racking up charges. Officer said they even found receipts tied to the buys.
Yeah, grab him. Get him. Grab him, quick. Don't resist. Do not resist. Don't let your hands go. Let your hands go.
And look, I'm human, okay? I see this isn't the best place to arrest a dude dressed as Chuck E. Cheese. This is one place we can guarantee he won't make a clean getaway wearing that big ass suit. You f***ed up, Charles Entertainment Cheese. John C. Cheese, some might call you.
You know what? He's not wrong.
Be prepared, because what you're about to see is one of the saddest, funniest perp walks in history.
I got it. I got light on video. 539, we have 1 to 10. Hey, he's a suspect. He stole someone's card here and he's been using it.
Then a parent trashes one of the police officers for arresting him in front of the partygoers. Look, I get it. No one wants to explain to their kid what felony fraud is between slices of pizza. But if cops have active evidence and a warrant for the guy, they gotta move in. They can't wait till after cake. Those kids are either gonna hate the police forever or think that Chuck E. Cheese is a f***ing dirtbag. Which technically Chuck E. Cheese is teaching kids how to gamble and eat shitty food. He deserved to go into cuffs. I tell you what, anytime I see a crime story starting with Chuck E. Cheese, I just think of those massive brawls that people have there. To be fair, any of the people arguing about Chuck E. Cheese being arrested are probably the people that we just watched brawling in the Chuck E. Cheese. Next story, Port St. Joe, Florida. August 15th, 2025, 3:40 p.m. This all kicks off when a repo man calls the police. He's legally taking back a car, but the driver isn't wanting to let it go. She's slowly rolling it around the neighborhood with an expired tag, avoiding this repo man like he's the IRS, or her caseworker finally proving she's committing EBT fraud. When the officer tries to pull her over, she doesn't stop. She just kind of creeps along and even takes a sidewalk detour to avoid a block.
108, go up. I'm behind it. You're on Avenue A. Pull the car over.
She just tried to ram me. Back off. Where you at, 104?
Sergeant Morrison terminates the attempted stop for public safety, and officers clear the area. At around 4 p.m., police are called to a hit and run, of course, with the Ford Fusion. The victim doesn't want any charges filed, but the repo driver says that the female is still circling the block trying to avoid him. If you haven't figured it out yet, the same woman who's driving around the block trying to avoid the repo man is the same woman who's involved in this hit and run. They're having a pretty bad day.
I just want to know what in the hell's going on.
No, I don't goddamn know. You tell me.
Well, they're trying to repossess your car.
What for?
Because they say you didn't pay for it, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. Pull up here so we're not in the middle of the road. Just pull up behind me.
Hell. They want, they can come get it, hell.
Well, they're trying to.
Get them to something,
Well,
hell.
let me-
Let it be on them, hell. I don't know. Everybody's got a goddamn choice right now. I can't tell who is who. I don't know nobody who's got a goddamn choice.
Well, don't drive off.
So I said, come in this car. come get my car. I don't know.
Okay.
Sergeant Morrison spends about 15 minutes talking to her. Calm, patient, de-escalation mode. Just trying to get her to hand over the car to avoid any more problems. She refuses, won't exit, won't give up the keys. Once again, she just drives away. And once again, officers kinda let her.
I never saw it coming.
So take a second and realize the amount of de-escalation the cops are going through right here. It's a careless woman dodging police at about 10 miles per hour every once in a while. Think what you will about it, but they are trying their damnedest to de-escalate the situation. At around 5:50 p.m. same day, a convenience store calls in another hit and run. Wouldn't you have guessed who it was? And now the repo truck has her blocked in. At the same time, another 911 caller reports reckless driving. At about 6 p.m., Sergeant Morrison and Officer Lee find the Fusion. It's parked in the 200 block of Avenue C, and now it's escalated. She's sitting in the seat holding a 16-inch long fillet style knife. That's a deadly weapon.
No, ma'am.
Sergeant Morrison takes the rear, Officer Lee covers the front, and they start working the convoy salute. Drop the knife, which obviously doesn't work. That's when the other deputy arrives to assist. The passenger window gets popped and gives good access for a less than lethal option. And a taser was deployed 7 times.
Unlock the door. Drop the knife now. Drop it.
No effect, probably not a good connection. And then it ramps up.
Put the knife down!
Oh, kill my child! Oh, God, have mercy. Y'all had to taser. Y'all could have taser. Y'all had to
Suspect's down. She got a taser. We did taser.
Who shot?
She came at me with a knife. What the hell did you expect me to do?
Somebody call that.
She swings the knife towards the deputy through the broken window, then exits, raises it overhead, and advances on Sergeant Morrison. At that distance, 6 to 8 feet, deadly force is on the table. Morrison and Lee both open fire. The knife drops, the deputies secure it.
Put the knife down!
That is a big ass knife. Miss Walker's 16-inch fillet style knife was recovered. One of the craziest parts is she's upset that she was shot instead of tased.
Oh, God, have mercy. Y'all had to taser. Y'all could have taser. Y'all had to taser.
Suspect's down.
At that point, you don't get to decide your level of response from the officers.
What the heck? This isn't my order.
She probably got cocky from being let go so many damn times. And officers, like they always do after shooting someone who was just trying to kill them, they switch back into medical mode. Tourniquets, pressure, gauze, anything to save the person who was just trying to kill them. EMS takes over, transports her. She survives with 2 gunshot wounds. Was later discharged from the hospital and taken to the Bay County Jail. She's now facing charges including aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer and resisting with violence twice. And all this because a repo man tried to take back her car. What do you think? After hours, almost an entire day of second chances, was there anything they could have done different? Anything they should have done? Should you subscribe to Donut Operator TV on YouTube? Possibly subscribe to pepperbox.tv to see this video uncensored. Should you go to donutoperator.com? Maybe watch me stream. Anyways, that's all I have for you fine people. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, please have a fantastic day.